Hi, I'm John Rampton with Search Engine Journal, here with Alan Connect with Digital Always Media, correct?
Correct.
All right. And hey, thanks a lot for being here. Today we're going to be talking a lot about social media and how you measure your success, because I know that's a really hard thing, because I spend a lot of time on social media, and I'm sure a lot of businesses do as well. And how do you measure that? How do you measure success?
Well, it's not, as you said, it's not an easy thing. It's not what they're used to when it was with the pay-per-click, where people click and you can measure a quick conversion.
Yeah.
And it wasn't search, where maybe you could generate it as a lead. Social media is a more longer-term strategy. It goes back to traditional word of mouth. And the analogy I use, and I use this during lectures and workshops, is it's like getting a customer to go up a down escalator. It's hard work. You have to motivate them.
Yep.
So if you follow with that analogy, we establish with our customers, and each customer and client has unique points that you have to work on.
Mm-hmm.
But there's really 4 steps. First, they have to know you exist, which is showing them where your escalator is.
Yep.
And that's where you get on the presence. That's where you start going into G+. You start participating on Twitter, and you start putting out information, and you start following other people and communicating via social. So you're establishing your network.
Yeah.
Then you're going to get them to actually take a step on. And that's where things like Facebook ads, encouraging them to come to visit your website by taking a link, liking something.
Yeah.
And then you can start measuring your ratio of likes to how many people you've communicated with and so forth. Now you're motivating the climb. They're on there.
Yeah.
And that's where it's almost impossible to measure. But that's where you might measure how many conversations you're having on Twitter or on G+, a growth factor of how many people are actually on your escalator getting up. And then ultimately, you want to measure that they actually bought something, they converted. Now that may be, come to our site, we have a new white paper. And when they get it, they've given you an email address and it goes into your CRM. And then from your CRM, you say, well, they got this person from Twitter that they came here, and that's building it. And eventually when you make the sale, which could be a few days down the line, it could be a year down the line, it could be several years down the line, you actually correlate it all the way back. And that's the hardest part for business to understand. You're investing in people, not instant results. And that's where companies are still very hesitant to embrace social.
Yeah. So what suggestions would you offer to a company? So my boss came to me and he said, get more money out of social media. Go on Twitter and just make people come to my website. What do you say to that?
Well, let's say for Search Engine Journal, it's actually an easy proposition. You want to create great content, in that case, that people are going to want to share. So you're going to look at, and I know when I've written for Search Engine Journal, my measurement of success is where the shares, where people have said they put it on Twitter, they've given it a +1, they've put it on LinkedIn.
Yep.
And depending on the article I've written, I can say, well, this resonated with this business owner because more shares are on LinkedIn. And then I look at how many people that you share on LinkedIn, and then I look at all these requests to friend me or join me on LinkedIn. I can correlate that because I published that article. I do another article, and everybody went out on Twitter. And my Twitter follower
Now, what do I do
up.
in the case where I'm Joe's Plumbing Shop and I'm trying to get more interaction? What can I do?
Yeah, and that was interesting. I was at one of the talks here at Pubcon where they're talking like plumbers shouldn't be on there, and I may disagree with that. If you're Joe,
I disagree as well. I think
if you're
they
Joe
should be
Plumber,
there.
it's what you want to be is, and I just did this for looking for a house painter. I went onto Facebook and I said, anybody know a house painter?
Yep.
My friends, and I'm not looking globally, I'm looking, look, my friends say, call so-and-so. But he doesn't have a Facebook page.
Yeah.
But unfortunately it was in a message, and I look him up. Now if he would have had a Facebook page, I may have had a faster interaction, or I may have even had doesn't even have a website.
Yeah, you might even be able to see that interaction of people in your local area talking about it.
But it's the same thing. But he should be aware that someone recommended him. And that's part of being on social. So you're on social when someone says, I'm looking for a house painter, or if you're a house painter and you're tracking keywords and someone, hey, I'm looking for, no, you don't want to jump in there. Mm-hmm. But that's part of being a social. So you want to be somewhere, you want a page that people can say, and when assuming he does my house next week, and does a good job, he's great if he had a G+ page or a Facebook page, say, hey, I'm doing this right now, what do you think of the job? While I'm here, can't you go to my Facebook page, like it, and please write a recommendation on it that you just use it, because it'll show up in my feed. Now, while my friends are globally around the world on Facebook or on Twitter or on G+, there is still a segment that are in my community.
Yeah.
And that small segment is his target audience. And that's, as Joe the Plumber, when you're doing that, you do want to interact right at the time of interaction. Say, hey, while I'm here, are you happy?
Uh-huh.
And he knows that if he does a bad job, it's always easier for people to go and complain than to recommend.
Yep.
If someone does a bad job, you'll say, don't use Joe. He does he doesn't clean up.
And nobody will never go there again.
Get there again. But when he's there doing but if he leaves, how many of us are going to actually go, oh, he does such, I should go like his page. Oh, I'll do that tomorrow. But if he's there, and guess what? He brings out his iPad or his Android tablet and says, here's my thing. Can you give me a like right now? Log in.
Yeah.
Would you turn him down? No. And that's a great way.
And you won't forget about it.
And you won't forget. But it would be a great way for him to get you to do it right there. Oh, you got your smartphone? Why don't you go to Facebook? And here, I'll take you to mine. Yeah. So there's opportunities for Joe the Plumber while he's working at your place to get that, to share, so his presence will increase. And then that, to him, is a positive part of his social media interaction, because then someone's going to call him up and say, I just saw you were working at Alan's place. I need a plumber. And that's how it works.
That's how you get interaction. Well, thank you very much for coming on, Alan.
Pleasure.
Again, John Rampton here with Alan Knight. And what?
Connect.
Oh, shoot, man, I was way off. But yeah, here, thanks a lot.